Well, what's going on, YouTubers? I just wanted to do this introduction where it pertains to me apologizing for uploading the WWE NXT review from February 6, 2019, instead of uploading this review of the WWE WORLDS COLLIDE review that I did. And that was my mistake there, and I apologize for that. This was supposed to be the one that's uploaded first before I uploaded the NXT review. So I want to let you all know that. So, that being said, hope you enjoy watching this introduction of my apology for that, and hopefully you'll get to watch me doing the review for the WWE WORLDS COLLIDE review that I did for that I watched on the WWE Network. So that being said, let's get right to that review from yours truly, the Natural Born Thriller, in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to WWE WORLDS COLLIDE review. The show from, well, it's kind of complicated, so bear with me here, folks. The show from January 26th and 27th, 2019, and it was aired on the WWE Network on February 2nd, 2019, on Groundhog's Day. So they were in the city of Phoenix, Arizona. They were at the venue of Phoenix Convention Center. It will feature the brands of 205 Live, NXT, and NXT UK under the promotion of WWE. And when I first heard about this tournament that they're doing, I was saying to myself, I gotta watch it. Because it involves 3 of the brands that I enjoy watching or pertains to WWE. The only 3 brands I enjoy watching WWE, instead of Raw, in fact, fuck Raw and fuck SmackDown. But where it pertains to SmackDown, I had to watch it because of Daniel Bryan's title reign. Because I talked about before. I'm pretty sure no one doesn't remember about that. What I'm about to talk about before. Daniel Bryan, I want to get that true title reign of him being WWE champion, and he's trying to get that true title reign. And also, it was something that I had a word exchange with my best friend. That whole situation when Daniel Bryan came out of retirement. So, there you go. But so far, him being WWE champion, I'm getting a title reign, and there you go. But anyways, enough of that. Now let's get to what happened on the WWE Network, where it features this show called WWE WORLDS COLLIDE. Now the rules of this whole thing that they did here. First, they did a battle royal. It involved 15 men in the battle royal, and it features remember the names that are featured in the battle royal. So from NXT, you have Adam Cole, baby, leader of Undisputed Era, the Velveteen Dream, Dominic Dijakovic, excuse me, Keith Lee, and Shane Thorne. From NXT UK, you got Mark Andrews, Tyler Bate, Travis Banks, and Jordan Devlin. Oh, and also Zach Gibson. Zach Gibson too. Can't forget about him. And finally, from 205 Live, you have Cedric Alexander, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, TJP, and Humberto Carrillo. Before I get to the elaborate on the battle royal, where it pertains to all the rules of that one, you hear your commentators. You have Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton. And then also later on, you have Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness on commentary. Also, where it pertains to the ring announcers, you have Greg Hamilton, Michael Rome, and Sarah Scarabro. I don't know how you pronounce her last name, and I apologize for that. Scaraber. I don't know. I'm sorry, folks. Maybe move on. I'm sorry. Before I embarrass myself too much here. And you have your WWE Global Headquarters host, Troy Caruso. Whatever. Now let's get to the Battle Royal. So the Battle Royal here, there were 15 men in the Battle Royal. And they need a winner to get a bye in this tournament. So, if I can remember how it happened here, the first thing I remember seeing is Humberto Carrillo got eliminated, and then Zach Gibson got eliminated from the Battle Royal, which means they will have to be the ones that end up facing each other in the first fight in the first round of the tournament. And I believe the next one that was eliminated was Drew Gulak and Mark Andrews from the Battle Royal. So they end up having to face each other in the first round of the tournament. Then Tyler Bate and Cedric Alexander were eliminated, which means they had to face each other in the first round of the tournament. Adam Cole and Shane Thorne also got eliminated, which ended up having these guys fight each other in the first round of the tournament. Travis Banks and Keith Lee ends up being eliminated from the Battle Royal, and by during the Battle Royal 2, where it pertains to Travis Banks and also Jordan Devlin. It's very important to point out too, folks. For Travis Banks and Jordan Devlin, they've been building up this rivalry between these two for NXT UK for the last 2 months, basically 2 to 3 months maybe, and it's still continuing and developed here in the Battle Royal. So after Travis Banks was eliminated from the Battle Royal by Jordan Devlin, he went to attack him again on the outside, showcasing how a feud is heated between these two. Which, by the way, I always gotta bring this up and sideswipe on these two. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, take notes. But for Dean Ambrose's case, he's gonna be leaving anyway, so to him, he could do it elsewhere, where he could have more freedom to do that, because WWE doesn't allow him to get any freedoms anyway. And Seth Rollins just he just let the company step all over him anyway, so yeah. But to name me to Seth Rollins, take notes, Seth Rollins. But anyways, so yeah, Travis Banks and Keith Lee ends up being eliminated afterwards, where they get the face each other in the first round of the tournament. TJP and Dominic Dijakovic ends up being eliminated next, so they end up being face each other in the tournament of the first round. And finally, it was up to Jordan Devlin, the Velveteen Dream, Tony Nese, oh yeah, first of all, it was TJP, Jordan Devlin, the Velveteen Dream, and Tony Nese, the final four, and then that's when TJP got eliminated from the Battle Royal, and then it was the final three: Jordan Devlin, the Velveteen Dream, and Tony Nese. So the Tony Nese got eliminated from the Battle Royal by the Velveteen Dream, and then also the Velveteen Dream gets eliminated by Jordan Devlin. So basically, you got the Velveteen Dream versus Tony Nese, since they're the last two to be out of the Battle Royal. So Jordan Devlin ends up winning the Battle Royal to get a bye, which means he gets a bye to compete in the first round of the tournament. He will compete in the quarterfinals of the tournament. And we'll get to who he fought in the quarterfinals. So there you go. And as far as the Battle Royal was, the Battle Royal match, that these 15 men had in the match was pretty damn good. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was basically old school type of Battle Royal that I'm used to seeing. And I enjoyed it. Alright. Before I get to the tournament itself, maybe read the dark matches out. Maybe get the dark matches out of the way first. And yeah, folks, there were some dark matches on here that was not featured on the WWE Network of this episode. The show of it, basically, of WWE Worlds Collide. And from January 26th, you have Flash Morgan Webster defeating James Drake. Then you have Walter defeating Danny Burch, and that was the two dark matches that took place all from January 26th. And I'll get to you more of the dark matches when we get to the 27th episode, the 27th of that January episode. Now let's get to the tournament. So the first round of the tournament for the Royal Rumble access from January 26th, and it was between Drew Gulak versus Mark Andrews. Drew Gulak ends up winning the match, and a very good match between these two. These two always have good matches. So he goes to advance to the quarterfinals to face the one who got a bye to win that Battle Royal, Jordan Devlin. And we'll get to the quarterfinals after I get to the rest of the first round. Then we get to Humberto Carrillo versus Zach Gibson. Humberto Carrillo ends up winning the match against Zach Gibson, which it was shocking to me, in a very decent match. The Velveteen Dream versus Tony Nese, with the Velveteen Dream going over Tony Nese. Now they didn't show this match on the WWE Network. They actually show some highlights of the match itself, where the Velveteen Dream is again an injury in the match, not a real injury, just a kayfabe injury, which it tells you right there, how the story is going to develop with the Velveteen Dream, when it pertains to the tournament. Then we get to Alan Cole versus Shane Thorne, with Alan Cole going over Shane Thorne, getting the win. And same thing with Tony Nese and the Velveteen Dream. They show highlights of this too, because they didn't show the full match on here, which is unfortunate. I was actually psyched for this tournament just to see the full matches, but they only show highlights for a couple of matches that they show. Then they show one with Travis Banks versus Keith Lee, where Keith Lee ends up winning the match against Travis Banks, and again, highlights of it. And then another highlights of it was TJP versus Dominic Dijakovic, with Dominic Dijakovic ends up winning the match. And finally, we get to the next match, which it wasn't highlights of it. It was actually the full match, with Tyler Bate versus Cedric Alexander, with Tyler Bate ends up winning the match. And I thought this match was pretty good. Then we get to the quarterfinals of the tournament, with Jordan Devlin versus Drew Gulak, with Jordan Devlin ends up winning the match against Drew Gulak, and a very good match. It was a very good old school match, to say the least. Because of the wrestling styles, where it pertains to Drew Gulak's wrestling style and where it pertains to Jordan Devlin's wrestling style. It was pretty cool. It was pretty good. Oh yeah, so I don't remember if they show any highlights of these the next three matches that they show for the quarterfinals. That was so let's get to it. We got Humberto Carrillo versus the Velveteen Dream, with the Velveteen Dream going over. Then we get Alan Cole versus Keith Lee, with Alan Cole going over. We got Dominic Dijakovic versus Tyler Bate, with Tyler Bate going over. Then we get to the semifinals. But before we get to the semifinals, folks, I gotta get to the dark matches, because we're done with January 26th episode of the WWE WORLDS COLLIDE. Now let's get to the dark matches that took place on January 26th. I mean January 27th, I meant to say. Excuse me. And here we go. Candice LeRae defeats Xia Li. Fabian Aichner defeats Ligero. Mia Yim and Taynara Conti. So I guess she's a babyface now. Taynara Conti. I guess she's a babyface, I guess. But whatever. But they, the team of Mia Yim and Taynara Conti defeats Chelsea Green and Vanessa Bourne. So I'm assuming Chelsea Green is coming into to NXT to be a heel. Which, by the way, she hasn't debuted yet on NXT TV yet. I mean, she's debuted on house shows, but I'm wondering why she hasn't debuted on NXT TV yet. Not even to show up at a takeover show, but whatever. Trent Seven defeats Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Joel and Mark, the Coffee Brothers, defeat Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. Walter defeats Cassius Ohno. And finally, James Drake and Zach Gibson defeats 1 and 2, which is Danny Burch. Well, 1 and 2 is Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Since the fans are calling them by 1 and 2, you gotta go by Oney Lorcan, who does the one finger gesture, and then Danny Burch, who does the number 2 finger gesture. So yeah, basically we got that was a dark match, and and think about this too, by the way, folks. These two teams are supposed to face each other for the NXT UK show at Phoenix, for the tag titles, and this just ended up being a dark match, but whatever. And basically that was basically all the dark matches that took place on January 27th. Now let's continue on with the rest of the final. The tournament, with the semis and finals of the tournament. So here we go. So the semifinals tournament took place at the Royal Rumble Access. During Royal Rumble Access, like from the 26th episode too as well. Well, this is called Night 1, Night 2. Night 1 from January 26th, and Night 2 for January 27th. Let's just say that. It's the episode. But anyways, because it was only one show that they did here, and they didn't even show the dark matches. They didn't even show the other matches that involved the tournament, which I thought it would be nice to would have done that, but whatever. But anyways, semifinals. Jordan Devlin versus the Velveteen Dream, where the Velveteen Dream is still showcasing that he's got a rib injury, which is all taped up, and match itself was pretty good. And the Velveteen Dream wins, by the way. Then we get to Alan Cole versus Tyler Bate. This ends up being a very good match too, with Tyler Bate is going over against Alan Cole. So now we get to the finals between the Velveteen Dream, who's still hurt, versus Tyler Bate, who is 100% not hurt. Match itself pretty damn good, with the Velveteen Dream going over. Fuck. So yeah, the Velveteen Dream wins. And by the way, I forgot to mention this rule too, by the way, folks. The winner of this tournament that the WWE did here for WWE's Worlds Collide tournament, the winner of this tournament from either brands, from 205 Live, NXT, and NXT UK, the winner of that tournament, which the Velveteen Dream did win, he gets to choose to fight for a championship title, either from 205 Live for the Cruiserweight Championship, for the WWE United Kingdom Championship at NXT UK, or for the NXT Championship at NXT. So yeah, wait and see what he has to make that decision. Who he wants to face. Is he going to face the NXT champion from NXT? Is he going to face the WWE United Kingdom champion at NXT UK, or is he going to face the WWE Cruiserweight champion from 205 Live? That'll be answered by the Velveteen Dream soon. So but yeah, I think that's basically it. So yeah, so when I get a chance, folks, I'm gonna upload this WWE, because I'm doing a recording of it, obviously, because I can't do live stream anymore. Not until the next 2 months is up. Because I'm still I still had a strike against me, but yeah, which was I still think it was bullshit. But anyways, but yeah, so when I get a chance to upload this, once I get ready to upload this one, then I'll upload the NXT review, the NXT review, So yeah, we gotta wait till that episode comes up first, and then once I get I'm gonna upload this one. I'm gonna upload this review first, and then when I get to watch the NXT show, I'll do a review of it, and then I'll upload that one. Whenever I get a chance to. But yeah, so there you go. So as far as this WWE Worlds Collide tournament, Now the guy who I did not want to win wins the match, but either way, I was still pleased to watch the tournament itself, even though they didn't show the entire tournament. I still enjoyed the tournament for what it was. Now, if Tyler Bate, if only he would have won, I would have loved to see him face either Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship, or maybe against Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. But no, we got to have the Velveteen Dream win instead. So, like, whatever. But I still enjoyed the show for what it was. Even though, the guy that I don't like off his gimmick and his character, I still enjoyed the show for what it was. The Velveteen Dream, he did annoy me on some parts of the show, but other than that, none else bad to say about that. So, that being said, oh yeah, I forgot my overall story for WWE Worlds Collide. I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10. So that being said, thank you all for watching. Hey YouTubers, I just want to come back here to give you a proper send-off since I didn't get a chance to upload this review. So here I am to do the proper send-off to let you all know. Thank you all for watching, and there you go. And if you don't like it, beat it, because no one wants to be defeated, and I refuse to be defeated. So yes, there you go. So that being said, it's the Natural Born Driller saying peace on the streets.